Jonathan and I, Baruch Hashem, we want the home to be a very loving, warm home filled with a lot of life and laughter and kedusha and good vibes and good food. But we have very few rules that we've just told the boys. These are no-goes. Figure everything else out. Welcome to another episode of Not Your Typical Podcast. This episode is dedicated Le'ilui Nishmat Miriam Sarah Bat Yaakov Moshe. We have a really fascinating and fabulous episode for everyone, and I think this is a long time coming. I want all of you to meet my boys, meet my princes, Hodula Hashem. So just to give you guys a little, biography of each of my boys. My oldest is Jacob. His Hebrew name is Yaakov Yitzchak. Fun fact about Yaakov Yitzchak is he was born after many years and 5 miscarriages. So obviously the most amount of tefillot went into him, and Baruch Hashem definitely shows in his midot. My Jacob is turning 20, Motzei Yom Kippur.
3 weeks, it's crazy.
3 weeks, it's really crazy.
No longer a teen.
Jacob is just your Talmid Chacham meets, future Gadol Hador, meets tech savvy, the fixer of the family, the one that's really good with his hands, the one that we all turn to for shilas, for any question I have on halacha, I ask my Jacob. And you're also like the anchor of the family. You keep us all grounded. You're our moral compass. So this is my Jacob. Jacob was born on the yard site of the Yid HaKadosh, which is why his name is Yaakov Yitzchak, but he's named after my father-in-law, Alav HaShalom, and my grandfather. So Jacob, hi. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
He also just came back after 2 years of being in Israel, so it's really nice to have him around. Speaking of Israel,
Bon voyage.
this is my Zachary. My Zachary's Hebrew name is Zachariah Hanukkah. Today is Zachary's English birthday, 18 years old.
Got a lottery ticket last night at midnight.
He did. We have a video of him walking into the Bola market.
I'm standing with my ID, and I have my watch, and it's 11:59. And I asked the guy for a lottery ticket, and he goes, "Okay, which one? This one. Okay, ID, please." I go, "Wait. Okay, now." And I hand it over to him.
You're adorable.
It's very funny.
Zachary, I'm sure you've seen Zachary on my Instagram page. He is the musician and the magician in the home. He doesn't like the magician anymore. He's trying to step away from the magic.
I made a brach on this before we started rolling.
Yeah, I know. That's important to know. Me too. So did we all did. We've all made brachot. Zachary is B'li Ayin Hara, Baruch Hashem, extremely gifted when it comes to music. Guitar. Let's count all the musical instruments you play. Guitar.
Mainly piano guitar.
Piano guitar mainly, but also harmonica, accordion, saxophone, cello.
Violin. A little bit of cello and violin.
Okay.
Ukulele comes with guitar.
Right. What's that weird machine?
Glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel.
It's like
I got that
xylophone.
at a thrift shop during school hours.
Right.
Not school hours, lunch.
Not school hours.
In the middle of the school day during lunch, we go.
Nice save.
There we go.
Nice save. Good save. Good save. Shout out.
I went to
out May.
the thrift shop on Central during lunch, and I'm just looking around and I see a Glockenspiel, and it was like $30 or something. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's how much I have for lunch. So I didn't eat that day. But I come back to class and I'm just like, ding, 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 ding.
It's like he came home totally starving, but with this massive, ugly instrument from the old ages. Yeah. And you also picked up a 500-year-old organ that someone left on the side of the road.
I forgot about that.
That is currently in my garage, preventing me from parking inside my garage.
We were, okay. That was a lot of fun to get. Me and my friends were driving around and we're passing by 2 blocks away from my house. This house has a massive organ sitting right outside just for the curb, just for the garbage guys to pick up. So my friend's like, yo, isn't that like a keyboard? Don't you want to take that? No, it's free. I'm like, oh my God, yeah. We tried to lift it up. It was so heavy. So I called my dad and we come in the pickup truck and I called him. I'm like, hey, can we use your pickup truck? He's like, what for? I'm like, I want to pick something up. He goes, what is it? I'm like, so it's an organ. And he goes, no.
But it came home.
But it came home.
It came home.
We won that battle.
It still works.
It
still works. It was so surprising.
Space and collecting dust in our garage
Daddy
for 2 years.
was hoping that it didn't work. So it was old and rusty and 40 years old. I asked the person, I was like, how long have you had this? It's been sitting around for 40 years and we never use it. So he was like, okay, I hope it doesn't work. I turn it on and it does, like, it's not making any sound. He goes, yes, we have to throw it out. And then I find the foot pedal, which controls the volume, and I blast it. And he goes, no.
I know.
I heard it from my room, which is like through 4 walls of concrete.
Daddy was very upset that it worked.
But I haven't used it in like 6 months. So he's going to throw it out when I leave to Israel.
So
next week.
Bekitzer, Zachary is very musically inclined. He also has, Baruch Hashem, a magnificent voice. He sings. He's just... I jokingly say that he's the chandelier of my home because he's so full of light and he's just...
And expensive
and noisy. But that is my Zachary. Now, his Hebrew name is Zachariah Chanukah, which is kind of interesting. Zachariah, fun fact, not many people know this about you, but Zachary, we loved the name Zachariah because of Rabbi Wallerstein, Zatzal, actually. He was one of my favorite speakers. And one time when Daddy and I heard Rabbi Wallerstein speaking, I was expecting you. I was pregnant with you, and Jacob was a little boy. And I looked at Daddy and I said, oh my gosh, Zachariah. And we fell in love. And Chanukah, he's named after my father. We're Sephardi, so we named after
Chanukah,
the living.
Nisan, all those things.
So his name is Zachariah Chanukah.
Ashkenazim have Pesach.
Right?
We have Chanukah.
So is it safe to assume that Chanukah is your favorite holiday?
It is, in fact, my favorite holiday.
I figured.
Slightly biased, but...
Mine's Pesach.
I don't think the name. I think it's the...
Toys, too.
Yeah, the toys, the gelt.
The gelt. For sure. And now, last but not least, it's my
Jojo.
my Ben Zikunim, my Yosef Aaron, or as we call him, Yoey.
Or the punching bag.
My Yoey, or the mascot. We call him the family mascot because everyone's obsessed with him. We still swaddle him in the mornings. I still cuddle him and curl up on the couch with him as my personal little baby. We call you baby boy, but you're not a baby anymore. You are almost bar mitzvah.
Wow.
So Yosef is actually Yosef Aaron. I'll tell you about his name. By the Sephardim, we have to name after the living. And we take one. The first son is named after the father-in-law. The second son is named after my dad. The first daughter is named after the mother-in-law. Second daughter is named after my mom. So the fifth, if a person is Zocha, is a freebie. So I took Yosef Aaron because Yosef HaTzadik is hands down my favorite character in all of Tanakh. My favorite parsha is Vayigash. And Aaron was just like Rodef Shalom, just brought like so much love and peace between people. So that was why we chose Yosef Aaron for him.
And turns out it's Daddy's grandpa.
Say it again?
Isn't it Daddy's grandpa?
Yeah, and then we later on found out that it was a
really
great grandfather on Daddy's
Not
end.
Yosef Aaron, though.
And wait, also Yosef, my poor baby, once told me, Mommy, it's not fair. Jacob has a partner in the house, Zachary, and a roommate. Gali
8 years
has a
ago,
partner
everyone.
in the family, in the house, and a roommate, Aliza, because my girls share a room and my older 2 boys share a room. Yosef doesn't have a partner, but what do you have?
Your dresses.
My dresses. Yosef shares a room with my closet.
In my mom's closet.
My room has 2 racks, like pretty big size, like about 5 feet wide, of just straight dresses.
I'm so sorry.
And when I was younger, there used to be way more, and we used to have this mannequin. When the lights were off, it would cast a shadow, and when I would like close my eyes and open them, I'd see like a shadow,
person standing in your room,
a figure, and how they cry. Oh, like it was so scary.
The dresses are a good hiding spot for
I'm
squirrels.
so sorry.
That's a funny story.
That's a good story. You're gonna have to talk about the squirrel story. Okay, that's one of the questions. So I posted on Instagram asking all of you to submit your questions, pressing questions that you would love to hear from my boys. So we're going to be reading some of those questions because I loved what you had. And also just going to give you a little bit of an insight into what it's like growing up in a very noisy, loud, love-filled,
sleepless,
food-fueled, insomniac household. So our home is kind of like, Baruch Hashem, how would you describe our home?
I would describe our home as my friend's hangout spot.
Definitely the base.
Our home base.
Right.
Shout out to all my friends.
All his friends. There's too many to name. So our
Yehuda just went to Israel today.
And Moshe.
Special shout out to him.
Shout out to Yehuda.
I'll miss you, Yehuda.
We have, Baruch Hashem, a home that's always open. And there's a whole lot of food.
And Moshe.
And Moshe.
He went to Israel today too.
I mentioned
what's one
Depending for the shout-outs, right?
This is actually a question that popped up a lot in the inbox. What's one rule of our home? Which is actually interesting.
We don't have any.
Far between.
Right.
But
we don't really have rules in our home. And I'll explain what that means.
Really.
Jonathan and I, Baruch Hashem, we want the home to be a very loving, warm home filled with a lot of life and laughter and kedusha and good vibes and good food. But we have very few rules that we've just told the boys, these are no-goes. Figure everything else out. And I kind of think that was a really pretty epic move on our end.
Yeah, I've said to that it's like you have like 2 or 3 things that we're not allowed to do. And it's like smoking, like the stuff like that. The obvious
no-nos.
Like obvious no-nos that you shouldn't do. But then we don't have bedtime. We don't have anything like that.
Right, there's no curfew in our home. Especially, I'm the problem. It's my fault. It's me. Because I'm up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning every night, hence my voice.
Like I go to sleep the earliest at 1 a.m.
Right.
That's the earliest one.
Jacob goes to sleep.
Except for Daddy.
Then I sleep by 10 p.m.
Jonathan goes to sleep at 10.
But of the kids, definitely.
And then Jacob is the youngest, the earliest of the kids to go to sleep, which is ironic because you're the oldest, but you're also the most disciplined by far.
And responsible.
Like 1 a.m. is not
And
early by any stretch of imagination, but like our family is a bit out of the box in that respect.
So because there's no real rules per se in the home, it's kind of a good vibe home. And I think that's what draws the masses. Also good food.
And we have a good pantry.
The pantry is amazing. We'll be right back to this week's episode. But first, in times like these, we can all use a little pick-me-up. A hug in a cup. Spread the warmth. Share the joy. Share simchas. Share kindness. Because after all, the best things in life are shared. Experience the stirring, immaculate film produced by Heartworks Advertising Agency for Wissotzky. B'tei Avon.
The stars in the sky, the moon on high, they're great for you and me because they're free. The moon belongs to everyone. The best things in life are free. The stars belong to everyone. They gleam there for you and me. The flowers in spring, the robins that sing, the sunbeams that shine, they're yours, they're mine, and love can come to everyone. The best things in life are free. Love can come to everyone. The best things in life are free. The moon belongs to everyone. The best things in life are free.
So if you had to reveal one secret about our family that people don't know, what do you think it would be?
I think it's this about the no rules thing. This is like my own naive 18-year-old chinuch lesson that I would give to parents, even though no experience in this field yet. B'ezrat Hashem. If there's a bunch of rules that's like you have to go to bed at 10 o'clock and there's no this, you can't do that. You can't have any junk, you can't do this, you also can't smoke, you can't do this, can't do that. Then everything is in the same box of like dumb rules. So if you can't go to bed, if you have to go to bed at 10 o'clock and you also can't smoke, you're gonna go to bed later than 10 o'clock, you're gonna smoke. Like if you're gonna break the rules, you're gonna break the rules. Like that's what's gonna happen to kids whenever they start to just like, if there's too many rules, it's overwhelming them. There's no difference between like a dumb rule and something that actually matters. But if there's less of the the dumb rules of like, I mean, dumb in our
Dumb in our world.
In our
Vernacular.
world, where it's like we can have like snacks for dinner and stuff,
Right.
Which is probably
No, like we'll have donuts at 2
Yeah.
a.m. No problem.
Did
Ice
last
cream
night.
last night.
Ice cream,
That
right?
was
Last night. Last
Krispy
night we
Kreme.
had donuts at 2 a.m. Milkshakes at 1:30 a.m.
Crepes.
Crepes.
But I think that's
No
because we don't have anything. We don't have any like geej rules as we would say.
Geej is a Persian word that really fits everything.
It's the perfect
Yaakov is
word.
cracking up.
It's the perfect
It's
word.
like-
Geej is going to be one of the most important words you'll hear from a Persian family.
All the
Geej just
time.
means kind of like it's
Like
like
dumb.
So
it's
the direct
like
translation is
senseless.
confused.
It's confused.
Confused is the direct. So if you're like, oh, they're so geej, they're just like very scatterbrained and confused. But you also use it to just like the test was
Pointless.
so geej.
Kinda
Like why did we
pointless.
need
It's so
it?
geej. Yeah, pointless is a good one.
Pointless. Yeah.
It's a little bit pointless.
So what I was saying is if there's no geej rules, like how we don't have really any geej rules, if I'm able to go to sleep whatever time I want, then the actual rules that matter, those are like cardinal sins.
Right, exactly.
But the geej ones are just not there. So like
That's
there's
true.
a big dichotomy between what I can and can't do.
I actually had two of your friends' moms one time approached me and said something along the lines of like, Lian Har Baruch Hashem, how did your Zachary turn out and your boys turn out so good?
Wow.
And
Well,
I
we're
said
the boys,
because
okay.
because
The
I
boys.
think she
it's
happens to
Zachary
be
and the boys.
she happens to have a lot of rules. And I think her son just felt a little stifled by it. But the rules, like you said, geej rules. Like
Overwhelm you.
your bag can't be on the floor. You have to put your bag up. Like you have to hang up your coat when you walk in. I get
You have to
it.
take
Like
out
if you're a
your
senior in high
discipline.
school, you're going to sleep later than 10:30.
Right. Discipline is important. Don't get me wrong. Discipline is super important. But I rather have a home that's loaded with love and
Lots
laughter.
of it.
Long range
I
hug.
love you guys. Long range hug. Yo,
Air
what
hug.
would you say is like a secret that about our family that people don't know?
It's a tough question off the
It is
bat.
a hard question.
Because a
A
lot of our
secret?
family
Or-
is
or like a
on
fun
it.
Very
fact.
open. There's not
Oh,
many
a
secrets
fun
in our
fact?
family.
Yeah, give a fun fact about our family. You want us to get back to you? Think on that. Jacob,
Yankel?
what do you think?
So it's not so much like a hidden fact about our family, more so just if you're never in our house, you won't see it. But music is always playing in our
That's
house.
right.
Like we actually have like 13
If you
speakers
know us,
all
it's
around.
no
Yeah.
secret. But if you don't know us,
Like,
it's
Right.
Actually-
music is the vibe of our home is music, which is why the Sphera and the 3 weeks are
Oh,
torture
killer.
for us.
Killer. It's like we have like 13 speakers. Like I have 4 speakers.
Yeah.
Zachary has 2. My sisters have 2. All this stuff. So we always have music going. I remember even last week, like I was just down out of my shower, was about to go to sleep. I hear music going crazy downstairs. I'm like, I feel bad. My parents are probably asleep. They're probably about to get woken up.
No.
I go downstairs, tell my sisters, guys, lower it. I see my dad and my mom dancing with all my siblings.
It was
I'm
1:30
like-
in the morning.
It was 1:30. I'm
1:30
like,
a.m.
what on earth is happening?
Dance
We're playing like
parties.
ba-ba-ba-da-ba.
I'm like, what's happening? Like, yeah, we turned music, so we decided to dance.
Credit to
Like,
Eliza.
I'm in.
Shout out Aliza.
She's the
My
one who did
dance
Aliza
it.
party.
and Gali are here. They're off camera.
Cause they're
But like stay tuned.
Yes.
We're gonna have to figure out something cool to do with the girls. We definitely have to do something fun with them.
Eliza wants me to
But-
point out that the dance party was her idea.
Yeah, Aliza has dance parties every night in the wee hours, and Jonathan and I usually join just because it's fun. But I think I'm going to say this collective. This is on behalf of all of us. One of the most important things I think about raising a home, a Torah home, a home of love, is having good vibes in the house.
For sure.
I feel like the energy in the home, if it's light, if it's easy, if it's just uncomplicated, it helps
There's a stat about this, no?
thriving, right?
Like parents who are very loving, their children have like, Daddy, you were saying something like that a while ago, no? Parents who have a very like loving household, their children grow up to be like this
no,
much
you said
less
you heard a podcast where the guy was saying invest less money into your children, but show them more love.
if
between
it's
you
not
and your
living
spouse,
l'chaim, I don't want to
right?
hear it.
I love that.
Something like that.
I love that. Okay, so now let's get to some of the juicier questions. Okay, so many questions came through, but I'm going to ask. You know what? Let's do this one. Okay, what's the funniest memory you have of a family trip or vacation?
Oh my goodness.
Can
Can
I?
I say the raft one?
Which one? Go for it. I don't care what it is.
On the
I'm
bo-
sure you could say it. Go for it.
Okay. We were in Miami this past summer and we would rent out the pontoon from Dimitri. And my dad gets he bought a raft that we attach to the back. Okay?
Oh my
So we attach a raft to the back and it goes out like 30 feet away from the boat. and you just like hold on, and whoever's driving the boat like goes crazy and tries to flip you off, like have you fall off the raft. So me and my mom at one point go on the back.
Yeah.
And we like, I think Aliza was driving. She starts going crazy on it. And at one point we hit a bump. My mom does a backflip over it. She flies off. I was cracking up. I was
it's like
losing
kind of
it.
unkind that you were laughing so hard.
It was a really
Guys,
funny scene.
I was airborne for maybe 8 seconds. I can't even tell you how far.
I've never seen like such a funny situation with like where our whole family was there.
Thanks, Zachary.
Anytime.
That's so nice of you. Yeah, so his funniest memory ever is me flying. This is just like a month ago.
This was like a month ago.
3
Funniest
weeks ago,
memory ever?
me flying
ever.
off
With
the
our
raft.
family, on
I
vacation.
backflipped a few times. I have no idea what happened to me, but I landed when I came up from being underwater. You know when you're just like confused, like where am I? What day is it? What just happened? But all I saw is all the videos are out. Everyone's taking video of me and they're dying
I'm
of laughter.
losing it on the raft.
Thanks. I'm so happy that I could contribute to your memories.
Best mom ever.
I love you so much. Jacob, can you tell us the story? Okay, so wait, Jacob. Jacob is
squirrel.
Oh, the
a
squirrel
modern
story.
day MacGyver,
Stop.
human fix all, Mr. Handy.
Yo, he's pretty good
like
too.
the person you go to when there's something
Human
broken.
Swiss Army knife.
He's a good one. Jacob is a human Swiss Army knife.
I literally have one in my
You have
pocket
one on
right
you?
now.
You have one on you?
In my pocket right now, I have a Swiss Army knife.
Take it out. Let's see.
Whoa.
Guys, if there's ever an emergency, you want
He's my
Jacob
Swiss
to
Army
be
knife.
around you, okay? He's the most resourceful person in the world. So, we were still in Miami. Jacob comes home early from Miami because Miami's just not his vibe for various
I was
reasons.
there for 2 weeks. I was there for a good amount of time.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. You did come for 2 weeks.
I
I'm very
vacationed.
impressed.
I was
You
with you
did.
guys.
You were good.
You relax.
So he came back from Miami a little bit early, and he was in our home back in New York.
Last year.
And
Can I consider
Tell
this a family
us.
story, or is like
go for
it
it.
was in our house? I was the only one in the house. So this was not this past summer, as in right now. Last summer, the one before that, I came home early again, and I was home, and I was just chilling. I was having some snacks on the couch, and like I remember like the previous day, I heard like some sounds, some like pitter patter. I'm like, okay, fine. The air conditioning's making sounds. The garage, whatever. Then I heard like real like something. I was like,
That's so
okay, that's
scary,
weird.
though.
I remember I even shouted like, "Hello, anyone here?" No answer. I'm like, okay, I really hope I heard something. So whatever. The next day I'm on the couch eating a box of crackers. All of a sudden, a squirrel just walks into the kitchen. Right there. I'm like, hi. I'm like, okay, this could be an adventure for the next 2 weeks. I mean, just call my dad. I'm like, yeah, so daddy, we have a squirrel in the house. He's like, you're joking. I'm like, I'm looking at it. His name's Gerald. I'm like, what do I do? He's like, I don't know. Can you get him out? I'm like, I'm gonna try. So like,
Hand in the deed.
I don't know why I did
It's
this.
his now.
I had no possible chance of this happening. I should have just opened the window that was right there. But I grabbed a towel. I was a
You
sumo-
tried to smother it.
I was a sumo wrestler. I was like, let's do this. I ran around the whole. I was chasing it for what felt like a solid hour. Eventually, I lost track of it. I'm like, okay, where on earth did it go? You know, I'm like, let me track it. I went to every door in the house, closed every single door, the laundry room, my bedroom, his bedroom, everything.
Didn't stop it.
I'm like, okay, fine. It's here somewhere. I'm gonna find it. Then I don't hear for another few hours. It's 12:30 at night. I'm in bed. I hear. I'm like, okay, it's by a door somewhere. I look at my room. It's not my room. Go to my parents' room, not in their room. I go to Yoi's room, and I'm like, I see its feet under the door. I'm like,
In
oh.
between, by the way, Yoi's room
All
is my
of your
dressing
dresses.
room. Okay, it's
Oh,
my
your
dressing
dress.
All
room.
their
This.
wedding gowns, everything.
Address
I
this,
see its paws
Zachary.
sticking out the bottom. I'm like, I
Address
got you now.
this.
So I roll up a towel, put it by the foot of the door so it doesn't escape. I call my dad. I'm like, the next morning I call my dad. I'm like, okay, it's trapped in Yoi's room. What do I do? Because I'll go in there.
My doors
I'm
got
not gonna
chewed
try to
up.
wrangle it. I don't know if it has rabies. I'm not gonna try to wrangle it. It's like, I'll call our exterminator friend who like does it for a pretty good price. So he comes in the day after that. So the squirrel's in Yoi's
Mr.
room.
Lee?
So
for-
you basically
Mr. Lee.
coexisted with a squirrel.
for a solid 72 hours.
That's
yeah.
exciting.
And it was in Yoi's room by itself for
Replacement roommate while I'm
48
gone.
hours. I put traps in that night, like with like strawberries
I
and
remember you
peanut butter.
get peanut butter
Yeah.
traps to
Yeah.
catch the squirrel.
And
And
you know,
he went
it-
on YouTube and Googled how to trap a squirrel, and he had all these cool
It
snacks.
actually worked. Just the traps were made for mice, so it didn't trigger for the squirrel for some reason. It was too big, like it just couldn't close the door. But I tried for like a day to put in traps, food, this, that. Nothing worked.
And wait, we were so intrigued and fascinated by this saga going on at
was-
home
it was
that
like
we
the
would
Oscars.
face. So he had left an
couldn't wait.
iPad open in the room with direct FaceTime to one of our iPads back in Florida. So like a TV, we would just go and stand in front of the iPad and watch all day like the activities of a squirrel that was trapped in that room.
It was wreaking havoc.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just
guys,
on your dresses.
It bit through, I'd say 30% of my evening gowns, and it had a
And
field
yours
day with one of my
doors.
fur coats.
My door-
Yours door has like
Bottom
little
is chewed
bite
up.
marks and claw marks.
I think it
You see the
left
white
a
paint get
special
scratched off?
surprise on Gali's bed.
Oh
no?
yeah, yes, Gali
I
and
told you that.
Hamza.
Oh no, did it actually? I think it did.
A birthday
No,
But
it
the
had
present.
paw
kids,
prints, at paw prints.
Jacob
And he had, like, the-
successfully caught the squirrel with the
Mr.
help of
Lee
Mr.
did.
Lee, our
Mr. Lee came in.
handyman.
You didn't
Good
catch
job,
it.
Jacob.
You
Yeah,
whacked it.
right.
Stick out the
Oh,
window.
wait. But then my friend Dahlia
Oh my
had a
gosh.
squirrel in her
That
house.
was 4 or 5
and
years ago. A raccoon. That was a raccoon.
A raccoon.
Yeah,
and she
in the
loves
garage.
you. So Jacob became the official like raccoon and squirrel catcher of the
I
neighborhood
don't know
for a
when it's
little
enough
while.
for this, but like, okay.
That's
I'm
amazing.
all for it.
Okay, guys, more questions. If you could travel anywhere in the world, I'm gonna ask this question from Zachary. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Probably Paris.
What?
I
Why
love-
Paris?
I would go
I'm
to Italy.
dying to see the Eiffel Tower.
I want
Can
to.
you Google it?
You gotta see it in person.
Like YouTube it.
You got-
Google her.
It's one of those
That's
things
so
that's
cool.
like we went to Niagara Falls for a camp trip, and it was such a spectacular sight to see.
I also went there.
Like you see all it's I can't put it into words. It's just something you have to see in person. Because if you see it on a video, you don't like hop it. But when you're there, you're on like the Maid of the Mist, and you're right in front of the falls,
I didn't go
and you
anywhere.
see all the water pouring down around you. It's like overwhelming. So all of these wonders of the world thing, I'm dying to see them in person. Paris, I happen to love like the culture. I know it's not such a good Jewish place to go, but besides to that, it's like my friends have gone for like a stopover, and they sent me pictures of Eiffel Tower at them like in a restaurant near it or something like that. It looked so nice.
I don't know where you guys get that from because it's not for me. I don't care to
I wanna
sightsee
travel the whole
ever
world.
in my life. I'm so content. Yerushalayim, Miami, New York. Zehu v'zehu le'olam ba'ed.
If not Paris, Italy.
Italy?
No, I went to Italy. It was nice, but like
No, I
a bit
never-
overhyped. It's
I think
tourist
it's also
attraction.
overhyped, to be very honest.
Trumping.
The sky is gray permanently.
Isn't that London?
I was in Venice. Everything was brown. Everything.
Everything's
the
brown.
water, the
I'm
sun,
with you.
everything was brown.
I am
Like the
with
dirty
you.
pond brown. Is
I
What's
changed my
that?
mind. Iran. After when the regime
not
ends,
now,
there's
yeah.
other thing the regime
When
should
Mashiach
end, and we
comes.
go back to like our
It's Babel
family
again.
home that we have there. I would love. Tehran looks so good. I don't know if you guys have seen like videos. I saw this video. This like American dude. He went to Iran like last month just to go around, and he had like a guide with him the whole time just so that he was safe. It looks so nice.
My grandma and grandpa always
It's
say
beautiful.
Tehran was one of the most magnificent places in
It
the world
was-
before the revolution. Now it's
Yeah.
I'm
only Hashem
watching this
knows.
video, and I thought it was like all like Mashhad is a dump.
Yeah.
Like it's desert. It's like what you like. It's like Aladdin. You know, there's like just dirt everywhere, and there's like people like selling flour all the side
Yeah.
like that. I thought it was gonna be like that, but Tehran is beautiful city. It's so nice,
After you're married and your wife gives you permission, you can go.
and the regime is over.
And the regime is over. Okay, guys, this is actually a very interesting question that one of the followers sent me. Yes, this does not apply to you yet, but it will because you're going to be in high school soon. Boys, Baruch Hashem, Hodul Hashem. It's a known fact that my boys are clean boys. There's no drugs. There's no smoking in our home.
Baruch Hashem.
So one follower messaged me saying, did you ever get tempted to vape or smoke? And what would happen to you if you did?
Well, what happened to me, I don't want to find out.
Yeah, you don't want to find out.
But
That is one of the cardinal rules in our home.
yeah, no smoking.
There's no smoking, there's no vaping, there's no drugs. Baruch Hashem.
But I think I've said this to you before. It's very hard to go through high school and like see a bunch of people doing all these things and try to
Be
resist.
surrounded by it.
To be surrounded by it and resist it. But I remember I was in middle school and I was talking to my grandmother and
My mom.
Yeah. I was talking to grandma. Love her to bits.
Love her to bits.
And
Obsessed with you,
The
Grandma.
podcast with her is coming
Best
out soon,
grandma ever.
right?
Coming out soon. You
That's
guys
gonna
don't
be-
want to miss
I'm
that one.
definitely watching that one. But she was telling me about her first impressions from daddy whenever he came to ask for your hand in marriage.
It's on you, bro.
And permission to say the story. He said, my grandma said that his first impression was he walks in. He doesn't say like, hi, how are you? I love your daughter. He walks in and goes,
Wait, we were about to get engaged and my husband was coming over. I wasn't home and he was just going over to ask my mother and my father their permission and their bracha for my hand in marriage. So I didn't know this until way after I got married, but go on.
So my grandma tells me that his first impression was he walks
Her
in.
first impression.
Her first impression
Of
of him
daddy.
was he walks in and immediately just goes, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't curse, I don't do drugs. Here's my blood test. It's clean. I'm a good man. I want your daughter.
But I heard this before.
That's the story. I was in like 6th grade. So when you're in 6th grade, you're like, oh, who in the world smokes? That's so weird. That's such a dumb thing to do. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And she was like, I asked her, I was like, was that like a good first impression? She goes, it was the best thing he could have ever done. I zapped.
Zapped version means like I fainted. I melted. I felt.
So she's like, I want all my grandchildren to do the exact same thing. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So I'm going through high school and I would be offered vapes and whatever. And in the back of my mind, it was just like, I was in 9th grade. So I was like, whatever. I want to do this when I'm married. Whenever I go to meet my potential in-laws, I want to say to them, I've never smoked, I've never vaped, I've never done any of this stuff. So throughout high school, that was kind of like my internal mantra while I'm going was until I'm married, I'm not going to touch any of this stuff.
I love you. Thank you, Hashem. So proud of you.
And Baruch Hashem, 4 years of high school.
Proud of you.
Clean.
But can I tell them what you did inform me about that you're going to be doing in Israel?
Oh man.
So
I'm okay.
In the genre of not having so many rules and allowing our children to spread their wings.
I'm about to throw myself out of a plane.
You have to be an Eved Hashem.
You mean this more dramatic?
You cannot mess around with mitzvot and with Hashem and with tefillin and all that stuff, obviously. So in the genre of not having that many rules.
But you can have some fun.
You have to have fun. So Zachary on Shabbat informed me saying, Mommy, just heads up, when I go to Israel, I'm going skydiving. And I was like, no. He's like, don't worry. I'm not going to tell you until I land. So I was like, okay, fine. Just don't tell me. Guys, everyone just daven.
And the entire Shabbat, I'm like sitting across the table from my mom. I go, Mommy, psst. Like that, just little things over and over. And then at one point, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go skydiving. I'm going to become an IDF paratrooper. Right? That way I can do it every day.
Gosh.
Really? And every time I do it, she goes, Zachary, please, just don't tell me until...
Too much. But Bezrat Hashem, you should be safe, you should be healthy, you should be matzliach and mazal.
I'm also doing bungee jumping.
Let's not. Sa'ar Gidul Banim is a real struggle. Okay, Jacob, this question came for you. What was it like being in Israel during October 7th?
Ooh. So actually, first impression, like, thank you Hashem, being in Yerushalayim and in the old city, we only heard 2 sirens go off. The day of October 7th, then one like 2 weeks later.
But that was pretty terrifying.
Not even the first time. It was like, honestly, like, it was exciting. Like, everyone's like, wow, crazy missiles going off, Iron Dome's intercepting it. Like, we didn't know what was happening. We were like, yeah, a huge mob of Arabs came in. We're all like, okay, whatever, nobody really cares. Like, I remember that night for us when Chag went out, because we hold only 1 day as Sfardis. When Chag went out, I remember like seeing all the news reports about like 500 Arabs got in, kills Hashem Yerachem, 1,000 Jews, 3,000 missiles got sent in. I was like, wow, this is serious stuff.
It was very
like,
serious.
Thank Hashem, I'm okay. Like I'm fine, but my mom's probably freaking out.
Oh yeah, that was a good
I remember
call.
I actually texted you like Motzei Mai Chag. I texted you, so it would have been like around 5 p.m. your time, 12 o'clock my time. I was like, in case you see this, I'm fine. Don't worry, nothing happened.
You know what? I promise you, I was standing by my phone that was plugged into the charger. It was still Yom Tov for us. I was standing looking at my phone saying, please Hashem, make Jacob text me. Please Hashem, make Jacob text me right now. And right then, your message came through like, Mommy, if you're seeing this, I'm okay. Baruch Hashem, don't worry, we're fine. But
so
from my perspective.
Then I remember like you called, I was waiting by my phone for your Motzei Chag, like it was a day after for me. I'm like, Chag's out for them in 3, 2, 1, on time.
Yeah.
I called it. I remember it was so sweet of you, but like I felt bad. You didn't say anything. I picked up the phone. You saw my face and just started bawling. You just started crying. I was like, Mommy, I'm okay. I'm in my dorm room. That's my friend. That's my other friend. We're okay.
That's the Arab Shuk right there out my window. I'm seeing.
Yeah,
That's a hotel though.
My window is bulletproof glass, 4 inches thick, and my window is bolted shut because my window knocks on the Arab Shuk. As in, during Ramadan, those Arabs were the most annoying people ever because they wake me up at 3 a.m. singing their songs, singing Allahu Akbar, all that stuff. So annoying.
But can we tell the world how it was probably the only time you've ever disobeyed me? What did I say? So my English birthday is October 8th.
I don't like how you phrase that.
My English birthday is October 8th. Not the most festive birthday this year, to say the least. So our Yom Tov goes out. And I called Jacob, and I'm like he said, I'm FaceTiming him, and I'm bawling, sobbing my eyes out. Are you okay? Oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like, Jacob, for my birthday present, I want you to get on the next flight out and come home. I really failed my test of Emunah. I have to admit, I failed my Emunah that moment, that phone call. But what did you say?
So I was like, again, I didn't see so many missiles. I didn't sense the danger that much. So I was like, I understand intellectually what's happening, and like you want me to come home. I don't feel so much in danger. So let me ask my Rosh Hashiva, Rav Aram Bina, Shem Shekivim Refuah Shlema.
Amen.
Let me ask him the next day. I'll come back to you. She's like, okay, but please, whatever you want. If you want to come back, I'll buy you the first flight back. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll ask him. I go to the
Because my
next
Jacob,
day.
in case you didn't know, he's like my Talmud Chacham. He does not make any decision without his Das Torah, without his Rebbeim. So we knew that he's going to have to ask his Rosh Hashiva.
So the next day, it was actually crazy. It was Yitzhak Mitzrayim. 70 guys in my yeshiva left in the span of 24 hours.
How many guys are in your yeshiva?
There were
100?
170. So that was almost half the yeshiva. And after the war, only like in total we had 140. So 30 left and never came back. Either Shana Betz, they were kind of done. Shana Alves, sadly, weren't having it, so they never even started. But like 70 guys left. So the whole yeshiva was Havorek and Bomayim, was very empty. So I asked my Rosh Hashiva, I'm like, Rav, I mean, if so many people are leaving, maybe there's something to this. What do I do? And by now, like after hearing all the reports, like how it was getting crazy, I was getting a bit anxious. Not gonna lie, like I was getting a bit scared. I was like, Rav, what do you think? He's like, turn around. I looked, and in his office, it's the window to the kotel. I went to Baruch Hashem Yeshivat Netiv Aryeh, best yeshiva in the world.
Yeah,
had
he
the
was so
time
happy.
of my life.
Hodul
Never been so
Hashem.
happy.
That's where Zachary's going, by the way, because of Jacob's success.
And it was amazing. Like I've once timed myself. I ran from my dorm to the hotel in 35 seconds. I timed it. It's
Wait, we
right-
actually did a really cool
you did
experiment.
a test.
Jacob FaceTimed me one day and said, Mommy, I want to do a cool experiment with you. Where are you right now? I said, I am
It
in
was
my
like a
bedroom.
week into yeshiva, right?
I said, I'm in my bedroom.
No, it's like a month.
He said,
Good
where?
morning.
I said, I'm like literally, I'm in the master bathroom within my bedroom. He's like, okay, regular pace, walk regular pace, don't walk fast at all. On the count of 3, we're both going to walk. Let me show you how long it takes me to get to the hotel. 1, 2, 3. I got up. I came out of my bathroom. I walked through my bedroom, walked through the house, down the stairs. Before I got to my kitchen, Jacob was already standing by the hotel.
This is not like it takes a long time to get from your bathroom to your kitchen. It's not like a,
No.
it's not a massive, it's not like
No.
a big trek.
No.
It's
I saw
like
Rob
that's
That's
how
how
close
close
he is to the
his
hotel.
dorm was to the,
It's
to
right
the
there.
hotel.
It's like
You were so, Baruch Hashem, you were so happy at Netiv.
Oh my
I'm so
gosh.
happy for you that you had that experience.
best
But
time of
now,
my life.
how did you handle the news that
So
you're
I
not
asked him.
going back for Shana Gimel?
So
Because he really wanted to go back Shana Gimel. And we said, listen, rather you come back and start life and kind of like get on with I want to be a grandma. Let's go. Let's wrap things up. I want to be a grandma.
First
I want
mom
to be
for
a
you.
grandma. Grandma. So my husband said, okay, so no Shana Gimel, but we'll let you go for the Chagim and stuff. So you're still going to go.
Yeah.
You're still going to get to go.
Baruch Hashem.
Okay, now,
For the
Yosef.
past week, he's been telling me like, I'm so jealous that you're going back. I want to go back. You're going back and I'm not. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm
I was
very
giving him
excited
all
for
the tips,
all of
like you have to go here, you have to do that. You
I know
have to see
Jacob
this
gave him a
rabbi.
whole list
I
of
lived it all.
do's and
Oh my
don'ts,
gosh.
shawarma places to hit, where not to go.
I remember
Okay.
how much I miss it.
We have so
Oh my
many more
gosh.
questions, but I want to ask a few more.
I also want to apologize. You were giving like a really like heartfelt thing about October 7th, and me and him were cracking up because I slipped my cup to
Gali to fill it up
Gali to
with
fill it
water.
up, and we're like doing a whole
didn't
Indiana
wanna get
Jones
in
mission
frame.
out here to get me a cup of water while staying out of frame.
Come to
Gali,
the Yom
Elisa,
Kippur.
and
Maybe I'll
Jonathan
forgive you
are
then.
standing by the sidelines just watching us because we're going afterwards to celebrate his birthday. So they're here and they're very involved. I do want to say a quick shout out to my girls. I know you're seeing my boys right now. You're getting to know them. You're not going to get to know my girls just yet. We're working on something cool with them. But Hodul Hashem, really, Baruch Hashem, B'li Ayin Hara a million times. My girls are so incredibly talented and they're so chesedic. Gotta brag about them a little bit. Obviously, you know that Gali has the Gali's Couture Wigs line named after her, the Shetels. And then you know that Eliza, because Eliza didn't want to drown, but she also wanted a little bit of her name and fame. So we teamed up with Kitty Chic. Love you, Galit Weiner.
I'm still waiting for my custom suit line.
I was going to say, we teamed up with Galit from Kitty Chic and we designed the Eliza collection. So she got a clothing line named in her honor. I owe these boys a little something in their name. We'll figure that out.
We almost got a watch band
You
going
give us
one
everything.
time.
I
Like,
know. I love you so much.
You
And I
almost got
try.
one.
But
Really?
my girls,
Yeah, I remember
so
a
my
while
girls
ago.
really
You
love to do a lot of
almost
chesed.
got
And
one.
I didn't know this, but I just found out that Gali sponsored a bunch of, she made and sponsored a bunch of Ala Michya and Asher Yatzar cards that doesn't have her name on it because she was giving me a whole sheer on how when we do chesed, it should be super anonymous. I'm anonymousing it for you right now.
Let's
So all these laminated, gorgeous Ala Michya and Asher Yatzar cards that are made in Edut Mizrach for our Sephardi families and community is actually made by my daughter and my niece. So shout out to my tzaddiket Gali and my Eliza, who has been working in my office all summer, and you are amazing. So I love you both so much.
Golf claps for Gali.
Next time we're gonna do something with you guys. Boys, Interesting, fun, dumb facts. If you could have 3 items on a desert island, what would they be?
3 items?
I bet you I could figure this out.
Number one would be my guitar.
100% your guitar. Daddy and I already
Yeah.
said that's definitely what you're gonna have.
Number 2,
Your piano.
no, I have my guitar.
You need food
good
though.
enough.
I
Okay.
need to conserve space for other things.
Okay.
Toilet paper
Toilet paper. Okay.
It's gonna last you like
Smart.
a week or two. I'm just
Smart.
saying.
and my weighted blanket.
A weighted blanket. Okay. Fair. Very, very fair. Yosef Aaron.
I cannot sleep without
I
a
know
weighted
we're
blanket
obsessed
now.
with weighted blankets.
You
By
got
the way,
me. You got me
seriously,
hooked on it.
go check out Amazon. Amazon's Choice has weighted blankets. It will change the way you sleep
Best thing
forever
ever.
and
It's
ever.
hot, but it's like the most comfy thing ever.
But then you'll never be able to sleep in a hotel again
100%,
because
100%.
you're just gonna have a hard time falling asleep. Yes, if you could have 3 items on a desert island, any 3 items, what would they be? You have to see what he's looking
You're
at.
gonna
He's
find
looking
out.
at all of his sisters and his dad facing, telling him, "Pick me, pick me." If you could have
Probably first a bed.
a bed, yeah.
A barber.
Oh, holy schnitzels.
Holy
Holy
schnitzel.
schnitzel.
I
Holy
need
schnitzel
food.
sandwich, yeah.
Are you taking barber as number 3?
Oh.
No? I'll go ahead.
What will be the 3rd thing you have on a desert island with you?
If I would want to have fun, I'd get like a dirt bike to ride around.
Dirt
dirt
bike. That's so you. Good job, Jacob. Can I guess?
So
Your
you're
Swiss
Gemara.
Army blade?
Okay. Your a Swiss Army knife.
100%.
Your
That'd be good.
Gemara
Remember also in
and your Ray-Ban sunglasses.
Your book did a
Close.
Okay.
Amara, yes.
I should say.
Knife, yes. And people don't think about this. A way to get off the island.
A way to get off the
Like
island.
a plane, a helicopter.
That's
Let me
not
get
what
off
we're
the island.
asking.
See, that's Jacob. Pragmatic, practical,
Let me get home. Come on.
smart,
And
grounded.
there I am sitting in my weighted blanket, playing guitar. I'm watching Jacob fly away, and I'm like, you could do that.
Like,
By the way, you have never met 2 brothers so different than Jacob and Zachary. In fact, Rabbi Sprung from May
Oh my gosh.
had told me at one of our
At my
PTAs,
yeshiva meeting.
he was like, Mrs. Aminoff, I have to tell you, I have never not only taught, met 2 brothers that are as polar opposites as Jacob and Zachary.
yeah, they're as close as us.
Yeah, I know, Baruch Hashem. Oh, which brings us to another
See, I went
question.
for the high five, he went for the fist bump.
Exactly.
We're just like different wavelengths.
Another
It's in our
question.
bones.
Do you guys ever fight?
Okay,
So-
hold on.
I have an answer for
Us?
this.
I'll say yeah, the
Not
boys.
really.
No, the
Boys
boys
get along
really
great,
don't
'cause
fight.
We're
him and I.
simple. Like, he's in shul a lot, so there's not much to like fight about. It's not like he's taking my space, I'm taking
The most
his
I'll fight
space.
with him was like whenever I get home and I'm asleep by, again, my early somehow 1:30
1
in the
o'clock.
morning.
He's jamming till 3:30.
And he,
Yeah,
and he
that's
comes
it.
in, and he showers at 3 a.m. I'm like, I knock on the bathroom door. Zachary, I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Yeah,
He's
no,
like,
that's
and,
the
and
only
I'm just
time.
like, you choose to go to sleep early.
Yeah.
Let me.
Your problem.
Really? Why'd you do that?
That's like
So
really for us.
these 2
But,
Baruch Hashem,
yeah,
Bli Ayin
we're
Hara,
all
get
fine.
along.
Just-
He's like
he's
the
just
love of
here.
all of our
I'm
lives.
He's
usually
a
out
little
with my
cutie.
friends also.
What?
I'm usually out with
He's-
my
Yeah,
he's
friends.
me
cool
and him
in
are out with
family.
our
He's actually really
friends.
cool. Yosef
We're,
has,
like,
Baruch
chilling.
Hashem, such
Thank
a big
you.
group of friends, and they're always out biking and playing pickleball. Pickleball is their newest obsession.
So fun.
So these 3, Bli Ayin Hara, Baruch Hashem, these 3 get along beautifully. They never really
Let's ask
fight.
the rest of the family.
But,
But
2
we
teenage
have
girls.
2 teenagers
who share
sitting
a
over
Wardrobe
room.
there.
malfunctions.
Share a wardrobe.
Share a room, share a wardrobe, share a bathroom. So
Hair supplies,
hair appliances.
Absolutely
that's the difference.
everything.
the curling iron.
But they don't fight. It's just like catty bickering. Like
Pettiness.
I was gonna wear that. No, I was gonna wear that. But like that's my iron. Hurry up! And what's
But
this thing?
honestly,
You
at
speak
some point,
timer.
I-
I'm sorry for saying this. It's the most entertaining thing ever to see them fight
It's
about
very
the,
entertaining.
Like, that's my shirt. You have that one, but I want that. I'm like, somebody give me popcorn. This is just an amazing show to watch. It's funny for me. I'm
It's
sorry
true.
to say.
It is very
It's the best.
entertaining.
It's the best when it's like keeping score and like, no, but you had my ring 2 weeks ago. Like they have like a ledger of like, so you borrowed my ring. So now I get to borrow. No,
Today's
wait, but
my
you borrowed
day.
my hair tie. So that cancels out the ring.
That's
so
my
now,
sweater, but I bought it with my own money. But that was a gift for everything.
Okay.
It's
It's
never,
never
serious.
serious.
How do you?
You're not like slapping each other.
What is your favorite holiday? I know the answer to this, but I want you to say it.
So, like, not to sound all yeshivish and everything, but for sure, hands down Yom Kippur.
Me too.
I love it 'cause, like-
it's my
Like,
birthday.
I even like fasting. It's funny. My least favorite holiday, far and away, is Tisha B'Av. I hate it with a passion.
I know.
On every level, I hate it.
Wait,
Wish it
so-
didn't exist. But like, I love Yom Kippur because even the fasting, just don't worry about food. I'm davening to Hashem the whole day, and like my minyan Baruch
My
Hashem
legs
davening
hurt
at next,
so
so we have like a
bad
3-hour break.
after that.
I was saying Tehillim, I was learning Torah. Like, I just felt so close to Hashem. Then you finish up Yom Kippur, and you're scot free. All your
Exactly.
all your
It's like
a
all your
pro-green
scenes are done,
experience.
clean.
Yeah.
I was like, hi. I feel so good now. Like I
I
feel
love
clean.
it. I know that about him. He always says Yom Kippur
I
is
love
not
Yom
only his
Kippur.
favorite holiday of the year, it's his favorite day of the year.
After my 2 years in Israel, I told my parents, I love you guys. I'll be here for every holiday, but every Yom Kippur, B'ezrat Hashem, for the rest of my life, I'm doing it in Israel.
Bli nader.
Like
Please,
B'ezrat
Hashem,
Hashem,
you should
I had to in
be- you
Israel.
should be
It's like
zocha.
One
different
time he gave a
worlds.
speech, and sorry to interrupt. One time he gave a speech and he said something like, "Oh yeah, everyone always says if you were to double a holiday, like if you could have two of them, oh I'd want 2 Pesach breaks, 2 Purim." And you're like, no, you'd want 2 Yom Kippurs. Every 6 months, you have another chance to wipe all
Yeah.
your.
I said that?
I'm pretty sure you said that.
I'm very smart.
It was either that or like
I didn't realize.
It was either that or like a rabbi's
Jacob is actually Jacob has like IQ off the charts. FYI, Baruch
Aw.
Hashem. Jacob's Bli Ayin Hara, Baruch Hashem. His IQ is off the charts, and he got a completely free full scholarship to college.
Bli Ayin Hara.
Baruch Hashem. And also, when he was, Jonathan gave him a little incentive. Jonathan's chinuch is a little questionable. Let's just start off by saying that.
I'm not complaining. I
Jonathan
liked it.
wanted to really optimize and maximize Jacob's potential. So Jonathan told Jacob, if you get over a certain amount on the SATs, we're not going to say the number, I will
1559.
I will get you whatever
200.
car you want. And
I'll
Jacob
go
was
in.
Within
like,
reason. Ask
wait,
them-
no, don't get that's a spoiler. So Jonathan, I was like, Jonathan, be careful what you say. Like he might actually get that number. He's like, no way, no chance. Well, lo and behold, Baruch Hashem, Jacob got past that number on the SATs. So he came home, very chill, very calm. And my husband's like, well, Jacob, did you get your SAT scores? He's like, uh-huh. He's like, well, like Jonathan has
Dafka
glasses
printed
on.
them out. Like I got it emailed, but I Dafka printed it out. Just
Yeah.
did the whole like slap on the table.
Exactly. So Jonathan took off his glasses, like, well, what'd you get? So Jacob took out the papers and very like cinematically, very like in the movies,
With the whack.
dropped it. You whacked it on the table. And Jonathan looks at it and he's like, oh my gosh. So now my kids, we realize that he got over that score. So they're screaming like, Lambo, Corvette. And Jacob is such a good boy.
I'm like
He
a
got
smug
a
grin. I'm
very
like,
simple car.
So daddy, free car, huh? He's like, we'll discuss. I'm like, okay, well, we'll discuss later on.
And he got a very, very
Baruch Hashem.
simple
Tesla.
base model Tesla.
Baruch Hashem.
Why? So that he can learn while it self-drives him to school.
But I did that once and I was like, okay, I don't feel safe with this. I'm not going to do that
Because you got
anymore.
into a really bad crash and
That was after having it for 2 years.
Right.
But like,
Yeah,
I did one
yeah,
time
that's
try to
scary.
learn while driving the car and it was not for me. I now realized why there was laws like that.
It's like that story of there's that one guy that he
Fell asleep?
finished Shas from red lights. Do you know about this?
What?
You don't know
Oh my
about
gosh,
not
that's so
Shas
fascinating.
Gemara, Shas Mishnah, I think.
oh, that's so cool.
He like every red light he would pull out a Mishnah and like read it, and throughout he's like an old man, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
You're going to give him ideas. He's going to start
Yeah,
doing
like,
that from now on.
You already did Shas Mishnah.
Yeah, you did
Yeah.
Shas. You've done many Baruch Hashem
Baruch
Shas's
Hashem.
already.
my Gemara
you were
said-
saying, what's your goal to do Shas, Siyum HaShas before what age? Before your first son's
Yeah,
brit.
I said the day before my son's brit, I want by the Brit Yitzchak. I don't know if Ashkenazis do that. I think it's only a Sephardi thing. But the night before a son's Brit
brit?
Milah, we do a Brit Yitzchak. We go to the house, say a lot of tefillot for the baby.
So his goal
And
is
like
to
it's not actually Seudat
finish.
Mitzvah or anything. But I was like, my goal is to do a Siyum HaShas
Please,
by my
Hashem.
first son's Brit Yitzchak.
Amen.
And the next day, the Brit Milah.
Good goal.
Do Ashkenazi
Good
read
goal.
Yitzchak?
No.
Ashkenazi ambassador?
Yeah.
No?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
They do Shalom Zachar.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shalom
Shalom
Zachar.
Zachar,
This is
right.
our version. We do a Brit Yitzchak, it's called.
So I guess that's a goal. That's you know what? This is so cool. That answered already another question, which is what's a goal of yours? What's a goal of yours? And then I want to ask you a question.
A
Oh,
goal of mine. I have this like thing in my mind. I want to release an album. That's not a surprise.
Yeah, no, that's not. If you've seen
But
him sing or heard
I
him,
have like this isn't like a well constructed idea in the slightest, but I've had this like fun idea to base the album, like to call it Letters, as if it was like letters to the Kotel,
Oh, wow.
and make
I already
it
have goosebumps.
like
And
10,
Farsi, we say
10
she's rushing.
songs.
She's going crazy.
And
Oh my
base
gosh, I
it
love
off
him.
that like map of davening where it's 6 thank yous, 4 pleases.
Oh my god!
So like 6 Hoda'a songs and 4 like Bakasha songs, something like based around that in some
we
way.
have some musical producers here listening to this brilliant idea for my son.
It might not like work out in the slightest, but that's like an
Hypothetical.
outline I have. Hypothetical. My first album, if I were to put anything out, B'ezrat Hashem, that would be like my.
Please Hashem, you should be zocha to the most matzliach
Amen.
album ever and the most matzliach life ever. All of you.
Amen. Go platinum.
Go platinum. Yos, what's your favorite holiday?
Pesach.
Pesach. I love that.
think I know
That's
why.
self-explanatory because
Joey's.
he goes up. If he's at a program, he's chilling out with all of his friends. You don't have to clean.
And also-
all the chicken nuggets.
What's my least favorite
On three,
holiday?
1, 2, 3.
Purim.
Purim.
Wow. well known.
Hate
Don't
the
like that.
decorating.
Don't like that.
Decorating.
Decorations, the family costumes,
Oh my
the
God.
The
I just wanna sit in
candy,
daven.
the costumes.
I just want to sit in daven. Okay, so
Gali's
now
favorite is Shavuot.
Gali's
It's
favorite
her
is definitely
birthday.
Shavuot.
It's your birthday, right?
It's your Hebrew birthday, and because we finished Sefer Torah
One
like a
of your
million
Hebrew
times.
Biased choice right there, Gali. Good job.
Okay, so right, another go, Yos
And Elisa's
Elisa's
is
is
Sukkot.
Sukkot.
Or Pesach.
or
Pesach.
Pesach. The girls
Or Hanukkah.
really wanted to be on, but like it's really good that we're splitting them
If
up.
anybody caught what I said one of her Hebrew birthdays because she always counts the day she was
Dun,
Right.
Coordinate.
resuscitated as her other
thank
one.
you thank you. Great segue. Wait, that was a good question here.
welcome.
How did
Wow.
How did
This
the
is planned before,
incident?
Zachary. I'm sorry to say.
How
This
did
is
the
going too well.
incident with Gali's survival of her drowning change or shape you?
Ooh.
Can I go
start?
first?
You
Go
go.
for it.
You answer that.
I wasn't alive yet, so.
Oh,
Good answer.
I love you.
Good
You're
answer.
cute.
Good answer.
Oh my gosh, love of
Family
my
feud.
whole life. I'm obsessed with you.
I'm actually the reverse answer. I was the oldest. I was 6.5 at the time. I actually remember it.
I also do.
It was
Yeah,
your
you do?
first
It's like
memory
my
ever.
first memory.
I
It's
have
like
a
the first
few-
thing I remember is seeing Daddy do CPR
I have,
on Gali.
I have a few memories. I remember seeing the crowd of people around Daddy doing CPR. I remember actually hearing you bawl behind me. I was between Daddy and you.
Oh,
I remember. Then I don't remember. Then I remember waiting in the apartment in Miami by myself, waiting for you guys to come back from the hospital. The first time Gali
I
went.
remember that.
I was watching
You were with,
Backyard.
you were with
too.
grandma,
I remember
grandpa,
what-
and Christina.
I remember what
crazy.
episode
Do
of
you-
Backyard
do you remember
I was
that?
watching too. I remember everything.
Yeah, I do.
Then I remember
Oh, yeah.
you taking us to the hospital 2 days later to pick her up. I remember sitting
Wow.
by actually, it's crazy. We have a photo of us sitting by a fountain outside the hospital when you picked us up. I remember posing for that photo.
Holy moly.
You know,
I remember a
now
lot
that
of
you're
this.
saying these are coming back to me too.
Oh my
I
gosh,
remember
this
a lot
is
of these
like-
memories.
Deja vu.
I don't like this conversation.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Gali.
Gali,
Thank
for
you, Gali.
drowning.
Thank you for
Gali.
reaching for that yellow bucket.
So,
Good
question, another question on that. What is one midah that our family does not possess, and what's one midah that we exemplify?
You don't have any anger.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have any anger.
And
That is a
Baruch
fact.
Hashem, it really
That
rubbed
is
off
a
on us
fact.
as a whole. Honestly, like I think you're a superhuman. Like somehow you don't have an angry bone in your body.
Mama.
I've seen people who like talk to you. I'm like, if I was in your position, I would just punch them in the face.
Oh,
like I'm
okay.
sorry to say, like enough with this. And you're just there smiling. Oh yes, of course. Like
He
being
wouldn't
so nice to
actually.
them. I'm not that much, but Baruch Hashem, your lack of anger really rubbed off on all of us. And I think your children as a whole really don't get angry that often, if at
Right.
all.
Thank you,
If we ever do,
Hashem.
it's like so minimal, passes by. Like
Baruch
and
Hashem,
it's a
yeah. No
beautiful thing.
anger is definitely a big, like the midah we don't have is anger.
It's a good thing too, because sorry for me getting
What's
a bit
an
Torah-dick.
anger? What's a midah that we exemplify? What if you had to say something in our home?
Simcha.
I think simcha is a good,
Yeah.
very good one.
Happiness.
Simcha is a good one.
Simcha, musica.
I think Daddy chesed. Daddy is like the
Yeah.
king
And
of
you.
chesed.
No,
And
yeah,
you.
Dad-
Daddy
yeah.
beats me in the chesed department for sure.
Very low key because he doesn't like publicize
Hates
it at all.
attention,
He hates it.
hates kavod,
Does
hates
the
recognition.
most chesed of any
does
man
the
ever.
most chesed of any man I know.
It's crazy.
Guys, final question for this
Final question?
episode. How fast did that go?
Oh, what?
Guys, we've been schmoozing for like 50 minutes already.
50?
50.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Question.
No.
Two more.
If there was one thing that you think could bring Mashiach, what would it be?
Emuna.
Golly.
Oh.
She's like, I'm gonna do it.
She probably will, because you've made over like 50,000 people cover their hair and start lighting Shabbat candles and keep Shabbat and all that, say Nishma. But
That was the plan
if
from the
we had
start.
if we had to say, I know what I think. I think that I wanted to make bumper stickers. I think I spoke about this before. I want to make bumper stickers that just say "drop the drama,"
Yeah.
because like we don't do drama in our home. We're just over it. So I feel like that really does fall under the category of ahavat chinam. Just live and let live. Just
Yeah,
be
I
good with
think
each other.
on that
just
note-
love each other. Just be happy for each other. Don't be jealous. Just good vibes only.
And like forget
Good
bring
vibes,
Mashiach.
good vibes only, which is actually funny because our friends just opened up Ondas on Central Avenue, and Ondas means vibes. And it's like good
Waves, like
Ondas
vibes.
only. I think that's about life. That's it. Good vibes only. Be
Hashtag
happy,
fuego.
be
To get onto
kind.
this, forgive me for adding on to this, but like you said, like just ahavat chinam, enjoying people. Like I saw that in Israel when the war broke out, like a week after. Forget like that's what's gonna bring Mashiach. That's what Mashiach looks like. Because I was there, I saw.
Wow.
You see another Jew in the Rova, you gave him a hug. I saw Charlene walk in to get a burger. People paid for them. Please let me do that for you. Let me get the door for you. Just pure avat chinam.
I
I
love
was like,
that.
forget bringing Mashiach.
You
this
feel
is
the
Mashiach.
Shekhinah,
This
exactly.
is what Mashiach looks like.
Amen.
It's like
Doesn't
we don't have
matter
it in our
if you're
day.
black hat, if you're white shirt, if you're army suit, if you're polo.
I saw
doesn't
people
matter.
with shaved heads, no kippah, nothing. I saw a chassid with long peyot paying for his meal.
I love
There's that like
And
picture
and he gave him a
Yes.
hug back.
of the
I want that
chayal,
artwork.
the chayal and
Hugging the chassid.
The chassid.
Oh
we
my
have it
gosh.
hanging in May.
It's
Okay,
my
I need
favorite
that.
photo.
If
It's
you guys
one of my
know
favorite
what
photos on my
that
phone.
what that photo is, please reach out to me because I need that in my home. Yos, what do you think is one thing that's going to bring Mashiach?
Tefillah
Tefillot. Oh, speaking of tefillot, our home is also
or Emunah.
our home is a very high tefillah home. Baruch Hashem. I
yeah.
think that's.
All thanks to you.
I love you. What were you saying about your wife, your future wife
so,
last
like,
night? We were asking Jacob.
I'm now
Jacob's-
nearing that age.
Jacob started getting phone calls already.
Baruch Hashem.
And we were asking Jacob from Shatchanim. We were asking Jacob what is like a vision that you want to have, Bezrat Hashem, for like your future wife, your future home.
So like all the chinuch books about marriage and all my friends who are married, I asked them like, guys, I'm getting these questions now about this girl, that girl. What do you think is like a good way to quantify what I want and need in a wife? And they said a very famous thing I've heard many times, but it's said so often because it's true. They said, make a list of 10 things you want in a wife, and the top 3 or 4 are your must-haves.
The rest are nonsense.
The rest are like great to have it, but like
Plan B.
But work it out in your marriage, you know? I was like, okay, I want this and this and this. But I was like, top 3 for sure must be very spiritual, davening all the time, saying Tehillim, thanking Hashem. Hashem is always on her mouth. Because Baruch Hashem, growing up in your house and with grandma being my grandma, like seeing just thank you Hashem, oh my gosh, thank you Hashem for everything. The famous story when grandma
got diagnosed.
yeah. And like what she did was she said, guys, let's start thanking Hashem, let's start dancing. That's such like a
I love grandma.
it's literally she's a
Best
mom.
grandma.
vibes
She's the best.
ever.
She's one of the holiest people I know without even
Amen.
trying. Like just so happy, so thankful to Hashem. So growing up in that environment and like I cannot imagine a life with my wife who's gonna be hopefully the mother to my kids, not always thanking Hashem, not always davening, not always
So
doing the brachot.
gratitude and tefillah.
That has
That's
to be
it.
part of it.
Right.
Just Hashem always on her mouth.
Amen. Amen. You should all end up with that, with a life, a home of Hashem, a home of simcha, a home of music, a home of kedusha, a home of laughter,
A home like ours.
a home like ours. Li'ayin hara baruch
Oh
Hashem.
my
Amen.
gosh.
And just want to give you all a bracha. And all of you can please say
Wait,
amen.
hold on. Are we closing off?
I think so.
Can I add my
Yes,
thought
love.
first?
Yes.
Piggybacking off what you were saying, I think Dan L'Kaf Zechut is
That's
one
your
of- that's like
strongest
Oh my gosh.
midah.
I remember hearing
You
this story.
never ever speak
There's
lashon
a
hara.
story that like
I'm
actually
jealous of him that he's so good at
changed
this.
my
and I'm
life.
just, like,
Wait,
trying
I
to work on
have
it
to
a
brag
lot.
about you for a second. This boy never in his life speaks lashon hara, and if there is lashon hara being spoken, he's always the one to chime in and say
Whatever.
like,
I got that
no,
from
he
Lisa.
didn't mean it. That's not what happened. You don't know the story.
Eh.
He's so down the kav zechut.
I heard this story when I was younger. It was actually one of the few stories that actually changed my life. I think it was Rabbi Akiva. He was owed money by some wealthy businessman, and they set up a meeting, and the businessman goes, "I'm so sorry, I can't pay you." And Rabbi Akiva goes, "Okay." And he goes, "Kol Rav, you see my house. You see my wealth. This was like a mansion this guy was living. He had pastures of cows grazing. He had 7 cars or carriages or whatever in his
Donkeys to ride on.
Yeah, donkeys to ride on. He had a massive house. Everything around him was like just opulence and wealth. And he goes, Kol Rav, look around. I don't understand. I just said I can't pay you. And you see all this grandeur in my house. And you just say, okay. You don't say, but like sell that one book and you'll make $5,000 and you can pay me back. Why? Like, what's in your brain that I can't pay you back? How can you believe me? And he goes, well, what do you mean? Like, what? How could you pay me back? He goes, look at all the cows I have in my field. Why can't I sell one and just give the money to you? And he goes, maybe they're not your cows. Maybe you're a shepherd. Maybe there's someone else's cows.
You're watching that.
And then he goes, okay, well, what about all the cars in the front of my house? And he goes, maybe you have friends over right now that I don't see and they all park their cars. I'm really paraphrasing the story.
Love it.
I don't know the exact
Modern day
examples.
crowd.
Yeah. And he goes, so what about this house? This massive, massive house, all the stuff in it. How can I not pay you back? And he goes, maybe you just went bankrupt. Maybe your house is about to be taken over by the bank. I don't know. How can I know what's going on? He goes, my suit is worth thousands of dollars. Maybe the bank is taking it. I don't know. How can I know what's yours? I don't know if you own anything anymore. For all I know, you could be poorer than I am. If you say you can't pay me back, okay, you can't pay me back. And the man starts crying and crying. And he goes, Father Rav, you got everything right. I don't own anything. I can't pay you back. This was the most unlikely scenario. And you just knew that if I said I can't pay you back, it's the truth. I don't own anything. Those aren't my cows. These aren't my cars. This isn't my house. This isn't my suit. I have no money to give you. I'm so sorry. He goes, listen, I don't know how they settled the debt in the end, but that was a story.
Such a basket case.
That was a story on Dan L'Kav Zechut that I heard, and I was really like, wow, that's a very special way to live your life.
You know, you just made me realize that I have to work on myself for that. That's something that I should work on because I would never be on that madriga. Wow, that was a great ending, guy. That was amazing.
Aww.
I love you. By the way,
I get that from my mama.
I love you so much. Wow, guys, that was amazing. Thank you so much for joining Mommy on Not Your Typical Podcast. That was so fun. And Bezrat Hashem giving you all a bracha. It's September 2nd. We're recording this September 2nd on Zachary's English birthday. His Hebrew birthday is actually on my dad's Hebrew birthday, which is interesting because he's named after my father.
And my English birthday is the same as my uncle's.
Yeah. Shout out my brother Josh.
My birthday is Rav Avadia's Hebrew birthday.
Yeah.
So that's my claim to fame.
David Amelch. Now we're going to just go around the room and tell everybody.
I think I also have Dan's Hebrew birthday, like the Shevet Dan, because we had that. We have like a thing in our sukkah where it says like the Hebrew. I have no idea if it's true or not, but Tet Elul apparently is like Dan's Hebrew birthday.
We'll look into that for you.
Oh yeah.
So since I'm sending this one off to Israel Bezrat Hashem, I'm going to give you a bracha.
Bye. A good time.
Hashem should bless you with shmira, with bracha, with briyut, with mazal, with hatzlacha and bracha, everything good. Should watch over you like an iron dome. You and all of your loved ones should always be healthy, happy. The parachute should work. He's killing me. I'm going to smack you. Yosef Aaron, amazing Hatzlacha Rabbah in 7th grade. Everything you want and need, Hashem should bless you with. My Yaakov Yitzchak, Hashem should bless you to continue to be matzliach in all of your ways. Amen. And to find shefa and to find bracha and hatzlacha and everything that you do.
Amen.
Guys, that's a wrap. Ketziva v'chatzima tova, because we're not sure when this is going to air. Thank you so much for watching.
This camera,
that camera,
bye-bye.
and that
Tell them
camera.
what you got going on in your life.
We like what?
You know what I'm referencing?
Hot ones.
No.
This camera. Tell them what you got going on in your life.
We're more on that
last
later.
dab.
How does it go?
The last dab
you
is
do like extra spicy sauce
like,
on your chicken.
Dip
Right.
it all in the sauce, like the
Okay.
hottest one, and then they eat it. Like instead of just like doing a little dip,
Okay.
they have like tradition that for the last
And
one.
that's when they'll start crying because they can't handle the heat.
They like start pouring like milk down their throat.
And
ice
then
cream,
while
everything.
they're crying, he goes, this camera, that camera. Tell them what you got going on. They're like, I'm filming a movie.
So this is an episode of Not Your Typical Podcast. I have my boys on it. Next is going to be my girls. Coming up soon is my mom's podcast. Thanks for watching. Love you guys.
Living L'chaim.